So I really look at I love a challenge though, and I'm just so proud of every bit of it. We went through a whole roller coaster of the human experience, and I'm very proud.
Hollywood is reeling from a story that feels ripped straight from the pages of a thriller. Marvel Studios, a company known for operating in the shadows and resolving disputes behind closed doors, has reportedly taken a stunning and unprecedented step. They've filed a lawsuit against none other than Blake Lively. Yes, that Blake Lively. But why would one of the biggest entertainment giants in the world target the spouse of one of their own blockbuster stars? Whispers are spreading like wildfire about leaked secrets, betrayals, and a Hollywood power play unlike anything we've seen before. Could this beloved actress really have crossed a line so dramatic that it forced Marvel to take such drastic action? This is a story that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about fame, fortune, and the fiercely guarded world of superhero cinema.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
All right, let's dive into the first layer of this Hollywood drama. When news first broke of the lawsuit, the reaction across the entertainment industry was nothing short of seismic. Think about it. Marvel, this behemoth of blockbuster filmmaking, rarely airs its dirty laundry in public. They're masters of spin control, known for quietly smoothing over conflicts and keeping any hint of scandal tightly under wraps. Publicly confronting anyone, let alone someone in the orbit of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is practically unheard of. To take legal action against Blake Lively, a major star in her own right and married to Deadpool himself, Ryan Reynolds, it felt like a thunderclap. Immediately, whispers began to circulate, fueled by blind items and insider leaks. The core of the allegations? That Blake had somehow misused confidential Deadpool material for her own personal gain. But what exactly does that even mean? And what kind of secrets could be so explosive that Marvel would risk such a high-stakes public confrontation? The rumors hinted at betrayals and hidden agendas, suggesting there was far more to this story than met the eye. And as the initial shockwaves subsided, a more specific and even stranger narrative started to emerge. One that involved a completely different film project and a simmering feud that somehow pulled Marvel into its orbit.
But I was like just tracking him down, and then I finally got to read the script, and the script was a thriller. So that was a little confusing to me because he's like such a funny director.
Yeah.
And so I said, what is this? Because the script is definitely like a twisting, turning, intense thriller. Is it a comedy or a thriller? And he said, yes. So then every day on set, I was like, is today a comedy or is it a thriller?
It's a good mix.
And it's like, yeah, it's like really kind of over the top and campy and trashy and fun and like, kind of like my outfit, I guess.
As the rumors intensified, a truly bizarre picture began to take shape. Blake Lively, it was whispered, had allegedly taken the drastic step of leaking top-secret Deadpool information. The motive, according to these shadowy sources, to strategically divert attention away from her own mounting public relations problems. It sounded almost too outlandish to be true. Could someone really be so calculated, so willing to weaponize the fiercely protected secrets of a multi-billion-dollar franchise simply to shift the narrative around themselves? The idea that plot details for a highly anticipated superhero movie, something Marvel guards with Fort Knox-level security, could be used as a personal smokescreen was frankly mind-boggling. It painted a portrait of Hollywood maneuvering taken to an entirely new and frankly unbelievable level. But to understand how Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, and Marvel even entered this equation, we have to rewind a bit and look at where this drama actually started, on the set of a completely different film, and with a clash of creative visions that quickly spiraled out of control.
We always tease each other. He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can. This is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh, really? Because I just have one on my list. I don't have anyone on my list.
And then it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like,
Tell me, and he's
think of
guessing.
someone, think of someone.
Right.
Bob Newhart, I don't know.
Touché. To really grasp the escalating chaos, we have to rewind to what seemed initially like a promising Hollywood collaboration. Blake Lively signed on to star in a new film adaptation directed by Justin Baldoni. Baldoni, known for his heartfelt storytelling and sensitive approach, seemed like the perfect pairing for Lively, an actress celebrated for her poise and polished image. Fans were genuinely excited when this project was announced. It had all the hallmarks of a prestige picture, a blend of talent that could generate both critical acclaim and box office success. But behind the scenes, the initial optimism quickly soured. Tensions began to simmer, reportedly stemming from Blake's unease with Justin's unusually comprehensive control over the film. He wasn't just directing. Baldoni had also co-written the script and intended to star in it as well. Insiders on set started picking up on a palpable friction. It seemed Blake felt her creative voice was being stifled, her input sidelined by Baldoni's all-encompassing vision, while tabloids, of course, latched onto stray whispers of on-set disagreements. This friction might have remained just another standard Hollywood clash of egos. That is, until Blake publicly and quite dramatically accused Justin of actively planting negative stories about her in the press. She alleged that his extensive creative authority gave him the connections and influence to seed unflattering rumors, painting her as difficult, temperamental, or overly demanding. It was a serious accusation, one that immediately threw fuel onto the fire and set the stage for an even more explosive chain of events.
I think the idea that people think that they know you, I think because of how intrusive media is these days, people care so much more about your personal life than they do your work, and if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you.
But here's where the carefully constructed narrative around Blake Lively's supposed victimhood shattered into a million pieces. Justin Baldoni, in what many saw as a strategic masterstroke, didn't just deny Blake's accusations. He detonated a truth bomb. He released the text messages, not carefully selected snippets, not paraphrased summaries, but the raw, unedited exchanges themselves. It was an unprecedented level of transparency, a gamble that paid off spectacularly. These weren't just polite disagreements or misunderstandings. These were digital missives that allegedly revealed a different side of Blake Lively, a side far removed from her carefully curated public persona. The texts, as reported, painted a picture of an actress seemingly unafraid to flex considerable muscle. They hinted at a power circle, a shadowy network of influential figures she could apparently summon at will, a suggestion of backroom deals and levers of influence most people only read about in fiction. The cryptic mentions of dragons. Who were these enigmatic figures wielding such power? And urgent calls to media contacts conjured images of a Hollywood operating in the darkest corners of influence and manipulation. Suddenly, the narrative did a complete 180-degree spin. The public, initially sympathetic to Blake's claims of being unfairly targeted, now stared in disbelief at these leaked communications. The image of Blake as the wronged party, the victim of a powerful male director's PR machine, evaporated almost instantly. Instead, a new picture emerged, one of a woman potentially accustomed to getting her way, unafraid to use her connections, and perhaps even willing to exert pressure to control the narrative. The shift in public opinion was palpable, almost instantaneous. Blake Lively, once potentially seen as a victim, was now, in the court of public opinion, increasingly cast as the possible architect of manipulation. And this dramatic unveiling of private communications didn't just reshape her public image, it inadvertently dragged an even bigger player into the unfolding drama: Marvel Studios and the fiercely guarded secrets of the Deadpool universe.
I mean, I internalized that as opportunity. We had such a responsibility to this audience to deliver something and to have the opportunity to deliver something for a passionate group of people.
Yes.
As someone who is so deeply passionate myself, I was so excited about that. I would so much rather have that than people who are indifferent.
Blase.
Now, enter the superhero of the hour, or perhaps the silent anti-hero in this unfolding drama. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, the wisecracking mercenary, had become nothing short of a cultural phenomenon, a box office juggernaut that redefined the superhero genre and crucially resurrected Ryan Reynolds' career, catapulting him to a new level of superstardom. Deadpool wasn't just another Marvel movie, it was a risky, unconventional venture that Reynolds championed, nurtured, and ultimately instantly transformed into a goldmine for the studio. The character and the actor were inextricably linked, their comedic sensibilities perfectly aligned, creating a synergy that seemed unbreakable. But as the messy details of Blake's feud with Justin Baldoni spilled into the public domain, a truly unsettling question began to circulate. Could Ryan Reynolds' resources, and by extension Marvel's ultra-sensitive intellectual property, have been caught in the crossfire? Whispers started suggesting that Deadpool-related material, top-secret plot points, casting rumors, anything related to the franchise might have been referenced or even used to bolster Blake's position in her escalating PR battle. The notion was almost too surreal to comprehend, that Deadpool secrets, guarded with the intensity of a nuclear launch code, could be weaponized in a personal dispute seemed like a plot twist from a comic book itself. But the rumor mill was churning and the buzz grew louder. Marvel's notoriously tight-lipped legal team was reportedly poring over documents, quietly investigating the possibility that Blake had indeed leaked or threatened to leak confidential nuggets about upcoming Deadpool projects. The alleged aim? To bury the avalanche of negative press engulfing her feud with Baldoni. For fans, it was difficult to even fathom how Deadpool's secrets could be relevant in an unrelated film industry squabble, but the logic as it emerged was chillingly simple. Any sensational tidbit about the irreverent anti-hero, a hint at a new sequel's plot, a surprise cameo from a major Avenger, even incomplete script lines, could detonate online, instantly grabbing headlines and hijacking the news cycle. If Blake needed to derail the relentless coverage of her alleged power plays, dropping a Deadpool bombshell would be a guaranteed distraction, diverting attention to the far more enticing world of superhero speculation. And with Ryan Reynolds at the very heart of the Deadpool empire, it wasn't inconceivable that Blake, through proximity, had access to the kind of privileged information that Marvel fiercely protected. Adding another layer of intrigue and tension to this already volatile mix was Ryan Reynolds' utterly uncharacteristic silence. The king of the witty quip, the social media prankster, the ever-present Hollywood charmer, vanished. He fell conspicuously silent. Some speculated he was hunkered down, strategizing, crafting a carefully worded defense. Others whispered that he was trapped in an impossible bind, agonizing over the lawsuit targeting his own wife. Could he publicly defend Blake, risking a catastrophic fallout with Marvel, the studio that held the keys to his career? Or could he side with Marvel, acknowledging their concerns, potentially at the devastating expense of his marriage? The complexities multiplied by the day, with both Ryan and Marvel maintaining a fortress of silence around their private discussions. As the lawsuit escalated, the usually playful, often public interactions between Blake and Ryan on social media began to noticeably wane, replaced by generic posts, promotional obligations, offering no glimpse into the storm raging behind closed doors. The question hanging heavy in the Hollywood air was this lawsuit not just about leaked secrets and studio power, but about the fault lines cracking within a seemingly unbreakable celebrity marriage caught in the explosive crossfire? This lawsuit wasn't just another celebrity spat. It sent shockwaves rippling through the very foundations of Hollywood. Marvel's decision to sue the spouse of one of their leading men was, to put it mildly, nuclear. This wasn't a contract dispute, a missed deadline, or the usual behind-the-scenes wrangling. This was an open declaration of war, alleging something far more damaging, a fundamental breach of trust from within the inner circle of one of their most valuable franchises. The lawsuit underscored a potential breakdown of relations between Marvel and the Reynolds lively household so profound it left industry insiders gasping. Blake's representatives, scrambling to contain the damage, issued swift and forceful denials. They insisted she never possessed official Deadpool secrets, and therefore logically couldn't have leaked them. They branded the suit as unfounded and punitive, suggesting Marvel was desperately searching for a scapegoat to explain broader internal leaks within the studio. But this defiant stance slammed headfirst into the brick wall of those damaging text messages that had surfaced during the Baldoni feud. Those messages, still circulating and dissected online, painted a picture of someone comfortable wielding influence, someone who appeared willing to bend the rules to get her way. Suddenly, the denials rang hollow for many. Commentators openly questioned, if she was willing to use such tactics in a smaller dispute, how far would that willingness extend when the stakes were even higher? The potential fallout for Blake's career was immense. Studios notoriously risk-averse might suddenly view her as radioactive, a source of potential controversy and unpredictable behavior. The whispers of difficult to work with could morph into outright career paralysis. But the potential damage wasn't limited to Blake alone. The future of the Deadpool franchise itself, a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut, hung in the balance. Could Marvel realistically continue continue to bank on Ryan Reynolds as the face of Deadpool if their relationship with his wife was poisoned by a bitter and very public legal battle. The question was not just sensational, it was deeply consequential for the studio's long-term plans and the carefully crafted mythology of the MCU. Hollywood, collectively holding its breath, braced for the possible outcomes. Would this all culminate in a messy, revealing trial, dragging private communications and studio secrets into the harsh glare of the courtroom? Or would cooler heads prevail, leading to a hushed-up settlement, a carefully worded statement, and a veil of secrecy descending once more, leaving fans forever wondering about the true depths of this Hollywood power struggle? But the drama wasn't confined to just public accusations and media speculation. The lawsuit itself opened up a new and potentially even more revealing front, the legal battlefield. With Marvel officially taking legal action, the case moved into a realm of depositions, document requests, and the cold, hard realities of evidence. Imagine the potential for discovery in a case like this. Attorneys for Marvel, armed with the studio's vast resources, could theoretically demand a treasure trove of private communications, phone records, emails, text message logs, all could be subpoenaed from both Blake and Ryan, meticulously examined for any digital breadcrumbs leading back to the alleged leaks. The very specter of depositions loomed large, promising potentially explosive testimonies under oath. What secrets might be revealed when lawyers began grilling witnesses, piecing together timelines, and scrutinizing every digital interaction? The possibility of more private communications, perhaps even more damaging than the Baldoni texts, being dragged into the spotlight suddenly felt very real. Hollywood, already buzzing, now held its breath, anticipating the potential unearthing of a trove of communications that could either solidify Marvel's case or completely dismantle it. The legal process itself became a pressure cooker, promising to either expose the truth behind the rumors or bury it even deeper beneath layers of legal maneuvering and carefully crafted denials. The fight for the real story, the definitive answer to what happened, had just begun, and it was unfolding not in the tabloids, but in the far more serious and consequential arena of the courtroom. As the legal battle intensified, the public sphere became a battleground of its own, fractured by divided loyalties and fiercely debated narratives. Fans, commentators, and industry insiders all seemed to be picking sides, wrestling with conflicting interpretations of the available information. One faction, deeply devoted to Blake Lively's established persona, the charming actress, the relatable celebrity mom, the fashion icon, struggled to reconcile the allegations with the image they had come to admire. For them, the idea that Blake would intentionally sabotage something so crucial to her husband's success, so integral to the family's livelihood, seemed utterly illogical. After all, Deadpool had not only revitalized Ryan's career, but had elevated their entire brand as a power couple. Why would she risk jeopardizing that carefully constructed synergy? This group clung to the possibility of a misunderstanding, a studio overreaction, or even a calculated smear campaign against Blake. But another, equally vocal contingent pointed to the undeniable weight of the text messages revealed during the Baldoni dispute. For them, those communications were a smoking gun, evidence of a strategic and potentially ruthless side to Blake, someone perhaps more concerned with controlling narratives than with collateral damage. This group highlighted the abrupt departure of Blake's attorney, citing irreconcilable differences, a detail that fueled speculation that even her own legal team had doubts about her version of events. Online debates raged, comment sections exploded, and social media became a digital courtroom with armchair detectives dissecting every rumor, every leaked detail, every carefully worded statement. Was Marvel overreaching, flexing its corporate muscle against a perceived threat, or were they justified in protecting their billion-dollar franchise from potential sabotage? Regardless of who was allegedly responsible, were the text messages damning evidence of manipulation, or simply misinterpreted snippets of a complex private conversation? The lack of clear-cut answers, the swirl of speculation, and the deeply personal nature of the accusations created a perfect storm of public fascination and fractured loyalties, leaving Hollywood and audiences alike grappling with the messy, uncomfortable reality that sometimes in the world of fame and power, there are no easy answers and no clear heroes or villains. So, as the dust settles, or perhaps more accurately, as the legal storm rages on, we're left with a mountain of unanswered questions. What really transpired behind the scenes of that film set? Did Blake Lively actually leak or threaten to leak top secret Deadpool information? And if so, why? What will be the ultimate fallout for her career, for Ryan Reynolds' relationship with Marvel, and for the future of the Deadpool franchise itself? The stakes in this Hollywood showdown are undeniably astronomical, reaching far beyond just bruised egos and hurt feelings. This whole saga serves as a stark cautionary tale, a glaring reminder that in the glittering world of fame and fortune, the lines between personal ambition and professional boundaries can become dangerously blurred. It reveals that even at the pinnacle of stardom, surrounded by power and influence, no one is truly immune to consequences. Cross the wrong line, especially when it comes to the fiercely guarded empires of studios like Marvel, and the backlash can be swift, brutal, and career-altering. Ultimately, this unfolding drama leaves us pondering the precarious nature of fame itself, and the enduring truth that in Hollywood, as in life, secrets have a way of surfacing, and actions, even those taken in the shadows, can have very public and very lasting repercussions.